Hello, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football. Feels like it's been a long time, I'm not going to lie, but maybe that's just because of the match we've just had to endure. We're going to be talking about the Champions League first and then moving on to the Europa League. Now, we're going to start with, I think, the best game of football I've personally seen in a very long time. PSG versus Bayern Munich, or should I call it the Mbappe show? Because he's going places, man.
That game, that is what you call Champions League football. Those are the nights you dream of watching. Obviously, there's no fans, unfortunately, but those are the Champions. That's what you call a Champions League night.
Yeah,
it's the pace of the game. It was so open. That's a proper cup game. Like there was literally no midfield. It was literally back and forth. Chances. How many chances did Bayern Munich have?
31.
31 chances. Obviously, Lewandowski is a difference. Big miss for Bayern. And obviously, it's 3-2. Mbappe, where's he off to? What do you think about Mbappe?
I don't want to think about his next destination, because if it's Liverpool, everyone's finished. If it's Madrid, which is probably more likely, European Cup competitions, just give it to them, because yes, we've been hearing a lot about his potential move, but we've also been hearing about people saying he's a bit overrated. I'm going to have to disagree. When he's on that big stage, he just becomes a different animal, because yes, he has Neymar, he has Di Maria, he has all of these top quality players around him, but it's him. He's the one that's making the difference. He's the one that grabbed the goals. Yes, the first goal, you might want to say Manuel Neuer should have done better there, but he still scored. It was still a goal. And his second goal, when he
the defenders backed off, and it seemed so easy. I don't understand. He made it look so easy. Put it through the defender's legs. Neuer just standing there, couldn't do anything about it.
This is Neuer, by the way. This isn't Fabianski. This is Neuer. Probably the best keeper in the world at the moment, made to look like he doesn't even know what's going on. I mean, Mbappe,
it's the levels.
He's so far above anybody else his own age. But he's way ahead of Haaland. I'm sorry, controversial. In terms of his football ability, his presence on the pitch, his technical ability, he's clear. He's so clear. What PSG paid for him, I think he's justified that price tag. And I wouldn't be surprised if he led them to the Champions League this season.
Yeah. I mean, Neymar obviously got an assist as well. Marquinhos, that was like a striker's finish. Touch. The first touch was perfect. Then slotted bottom right. And I think Bayern's high line got exploited that game.
Yeah,
the defense was so poor. Sula, I don't know. This guy is like, imagine we had Sula and Maguire at the back.
The thing is, Sula.
Bridges.
It's because I'm not going to let you disrespect. I can't let you. He had a bad game.
Sula is poor.
He's relatively young in terms of, I guess, for a centre back, because they age differently. 35-year-old centre back isn't the same as a 35-year-old striker. He's relatively young. He's had an ACL injury. I'm pretty sure it's an ACL injury. He's not slow, but his injury, he's recently come back. So I can see why he's not, off the mark as quickly as he would usually be. Because when you get an injury that bad, it's always in the back of your mind. It lingers. You don't want to put your foot into the ground as hard as you did 5 months ago because you think it might snap again. It's stuff like that. He just had a bad game, but the quality is still there. But yeah, I mean, Boateng came on for him.
Well.
He's coming into the twilight of his career, leaving at the end of this season because Bayern Munich aren't going to offer him a new contract. But it's as bad as people think the Bayern Munich centre-backs were. They would just run riot by the pace and trickery of Draxler, Di Maria, Neymar, and Mbappe. But I want to talk about Keylor Navas, because over the past, he made a name for himself for the 2014 World Cup, and ever since then, he's been one of the most underrated goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah,
four Champions Leagues of 5 years with Real Madrid, and he kept out.
He kept
everything apart from 2 goals. Yeah. Do you think Bayern Munich's 2 goals was down to Navas, or the fact that they were just missing Lewandowski, and obviously he would have the best striker in the world makes a massive difference.
Definitely a bit of both, because as you said, Navas is definitely underrated. He did pull off some great saves to keep the scoreline 2 goals. But at the same time, Lewandowski is a big miss. Like promoting the partnership, like Müller has a partnership with Lewandowski. They know what each other's going to do.
Yeah.
When you have someone who's different, he changes the dynamic of the team, the chemistry changes, different types of runs, being in the right place at the right time. Lewandowski would have thrived off all those opportunities created on Tuesday, and obviously didn't score the goals, and now we just have to wait until the second leg. I don't think it's over. Bayern, they got back to 2-2, so can't underestimate Bayern.
Yeah, I mean, because it's... I'm not saying they rely on Lewandowski in any sense of the imagination, but because of his absence, I don't know where this is going to go. If he was playing, if he was 3-2 down and he was available for the next match, I'd confidently say Bayern Munich are going to progress. But because they have Choupo-Moting, no offense to him, he's a massive drop-off from Lewandowski. I just can't see Bayern Munich finding a way to beat PSG, because I think it's at the Parc des Princes, their stadium. I don't know. Pochettino, good manager, taken Spurs to the Champions League final, but he's been shaky since he took over at PSG. So it's very possible that Bayern Munich could come back. You know, they have to win by 2 goals.
I was surprised at the way PSG played, because obviously their form in the league hasn't been the best. They lost, I think,
to Lille.
They lost to Lille. I was watching that game and they lost. Neymar got a red card. I thought maybe in the Champions League they were going to get knocked out by Bayern, but their performance was amazing. Obviously, their star players turned up: Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, even Draxler, who hasn't necessarily played. Then you can bring on players like Ander Herrera, who came on to solidify the team, and they got their tactics spot on against Bayern, and they just have to continue it into the second game.
Yep, and I believe the game's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's next Tuesday.
It's a bit of an unorthodox schedule for the Champions League, but it makes for great football. There's no waiting around. I'm excited, and hopefully it's as open as the first leg. But I do have in the back of my mind the feeling that PSG will be a bit more reserved to protect their goal.
The thing is, they're going to sit back, and that is dangerous because of the way Bayern just turn up the level, and it's just the pace of the game was so good. I was a neutral in that game, basically. Just to watch the football was amazing. Bayern can just turn up anytime, just keep passing the ball around, creating all these chances. And if PSG sit back, it could be a dangerous game. On the counter attack, PSG are also deadly.
Would you call it a tactical masterclass from Pochettino? Because as you just said, if they were to have sat back in that game, Bayern Munich would have just kept that pressure at the...
Yeah, but I mean, if they're going to sit back in the next game, it could be a problem, because Bayern will not stop. Bayern are relentless.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see, honestly, because if we get another match like that, I don't know how we're going to cope in Europe next season.
Yeah, I know. I tweeted out yesterday. I think I said, the pace of this game is amazing. United could never. And it's so true. We could never actually play at that pace. That pace it would be... Imagine Fred playing at that pace. The touch would go off the pitch. It'd be so bad. We don't have the players to play. We don't have to play at that pace.
Fernandes fires a ball into him in a trampoline.
Yeah, Fernandes would want to play that pace, and Rashford would want to play at that pace, but the ball is not coming into Bruno at that pace. So it's just...
It's a tough one, but it was a pleasure to watch, and
it was.
If I won't blame myself if I go back and watch that game, extended highlights or even the full 90 minutes.
I would watch it again. That was a great game.
I mean, another great game, not so great, but great result for us. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Vinicius Junior. Forget what I said.
Yeah, what did you say about him?
I said he's dead. He's just dead. I just think he's dead. He's not. He Jogo Bonito of football, all of this, but his end product since he's been at Real Madrid hasn't been of the quality of a Real Madrid winger. But against Liverpool, against Trent, who obviously was his direct opponent.
Trent.
He's also coming for a lot of criticism, in the light of Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville's debate on Sky Sports Football. He was exposed. Honestly,
assist Asensio. That was a great assist. I can't even take that away from Trent. If he wants to prove to Gareth Southgate that he can be in the team,
it's on it. It's nice to make jokes because it's a Liverpool player, but I have sympathy for him because never in his career has he been a defensive-minded player. He came through the youth system at Liverpool as a central midfielder, someone who is like Kevin De Bruyne, not an attacking midfielder, but plays the balls, dictates play of the game. Obviously, he came through at Liverpool, like the senior side, as a right back. Defending is not his strong point. And now, for some reason, everyone is focusing on it and dragging him for it when it's never been his quality. I feel for him, but I can't make an excuse for what he did with Asensio's goal. It
was so poor.
Yeah, obviously, I think it's clear to say that everything's getting in his head. He's obviously watching stuff. He's on social media. He might have even watched Neville debate with Carragher, but you can tell that he's not playing at the level he should be consistently. That he has been performing at over the past 2 or 3 years. And hopefully, for England's sake, I hope that he finds some form and he does get selected for the Euros because, let's face it, he's the best right back in the world.
We need him for the Euros.
Like, all inconsistencies aside and all jokes aside, he is the best right back in the world by quite a distance, I think. The only person that came close was Joshua Kimmich, but he now plays at operates at CDM.
But yeah, going back to the first goal, the ball from Toni Kroos to find Vinicius in the first place. Like, Vinicius wasn't even making the run. It was the ball that triggered Vinicius to make the run. The ball was perfect. And then the touch by Vinicius and the finish.
Do you know what? That's what a good central midfielder does. Yes. Big up Anton and Ibs. Thank you very much. That's what a good central midfielder does. That's what we don't see enough. I would say even in the Premier League, Chelsea have it with Jorginho. We've seen it a couple of times, his balls. Obviously, Man City have it. But not a lot of other teams in the world have a central midfielder that can trigger runs without even being in possession of the ball yet. I mean, Toni Kroos and Modric and Casemiro, all three of them.
They dominated the midfield.
Yeah, they've been the best trio for at least five or 6 years now. Surely, because people are talking about they're slowing up. They're not slowing up.
No, they're not.
They're
just still quality. They're class, literally.
Yeah, man. They're honestly unbelievable. Modric.
Even for this, I think it was the goal where I think it was where Trent made the mistake. I think Chris again played the ball down the line. Or it must have been the third goal. I don't know, but again, Cruz is just the key man in the move.
Yeah, I mean, they have been receiving a bit of criticism over the past couple of years because obviously they don't score as much. There's not as many assists in the team because obviously Ronaldo's not there. But I think they went to show everyone in the match the other day that we're still here and we're still the best in class. I mean, I'm hearing Liverpool fans talking about Real Madrid like they're going to go and play Brighton away. Like it's Real Madrid. They're without Ramos and Varane. Obviously, they're starting pair at the back. It's not the same.
So I thought Liverpool would win. I actually did not contemplate in my mind Real Madrid. I didn't see Real Madrid winning that game. Thought, okay, Liverpool, their form hasn't been the greatest, but it's Real Madrid. They haven't also been the best. So I thought, oh, easy win for Liverpool. I don't know why I thought. I don't know why I thought that, but
it's because
I see 3-1.
The Ronaldo effect, isn't it? Ronaldo left as soon as when Ronaldo left La Liga, the whole league just kind of was like, no one cares anymore because the Messi Ronaldo rivalry isn't there. But people, they don't realize how good Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid are. Like, I don't know if I said it on this channel or a different channel or just to someone else. Real Madrid are going to knock Liverpool out. They're not a team to be messed with. The Champions League is their competition. However they want to perform in the league or the Copa del Rey, they're a whole different outfit in the Champions League. They could be anybody on a day. Put Man City against Real Madrid, I wouldn't be surprised to see Manchester City get knocked out, honestly, because it's their competition. Van Dijk has been missing for Liverpool all season, and that's been their main excuse. Yeah, we've got Van Dijk, this and that. There's levels to this. Real Madrid is not a one-man team. Real Madrid is a
team, like
just
team.
a real team. So
Yeah.
they are a Real team. they are an elite level club. They're not going to win it, but they're not.
You can't write them off that they're not going to win it.
Nah. Yeah. I think on the other side of the tree, you've got PSG, Man City, and Bayern Munich. One of them three. Hopefully not Man City will, in a one-off game in the final, probably beat them.
Yeah, talking about Man City, they beat Dortmund 2-1 at home in the first leg. Controversial, whether it should have been 2-2. Obviously, Jude Bellingham, that was not a foul. The referee decides to blow his whistle straight away. So obviously VAR couldn't intervene. I don't really understand that rule. But that was not a foul. That was I just don't get it.
Do you know what's honestly crazy about that decision? I've seen penalties given for that. So why is it all of a sudden the other way around? Why is Jude Bellingham's won the ball? The ball's gone. It's not still in Edison's possession. The ball is in Jude Bellingham's possession. If anything, he gets fouled. But obviously he stays up, and it's even with VAR, I'm disappointed and I'm annoyed, not because it's against Man City, but just because of the decision that was made in such a high profile game. Obviously, they got their away goal.
Yeah.
2-1 right at the death.
The thing is, Man City dominated the ball the whole game, but I didn't see Dortmund were not it didn't seem like Dortmund were actually crumbling under the pressure.
They weren't.
Dortmund were solid. Obviously, they made in midfield a few misplaced passes, things like that. Didn't create as many chances, but they held it. They didn't crumble, as I said. And I feel like second leg, Dortmund is still in it.
They definitely are.
I think they could shock Man City, because Man City were applying so much pressure, and the way Dortmund dealt with that pressure, I haven't seen many teams withstand Man City's pressure like that.
Yeah, Dortmund aren't a silly team. They wouldn't have gone into the game thinking, we're going to have 55% possession. They would have gone into that game knowing City will dominate the ball. It's a Pep Guardiola team after all. We're yet to see Erling Haaland. He had one chance, I believe, and obviously it was he absolutely bullied Ruben Diaz.
He bullied Diaz.
legs all up in the air. Haaland is a tank. He's a unit. He had one chance. Obviously, he got saved. The next leg next week.
We're going to see Haaland next week. Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't score this week, because next week he's scoring and Man City is not going to stop him.
Let me ask you. I don't know if you know, because I definitely don't know. I don't know the extent of Sancho's injury. I've never actually known what the injury was, but he was a massive, massive miss.
Yeah,
don't know if he's going to be available for next game.
I don't think he'll be available, but their winger who they had on the right, he was not up for it. He was obviously just a youth player that they had to get from the academy because they don't have anyone else. But he just got bullied from minute one. I saw him get bodied by Walker. The left, he just wasn't. He wasn't up for it. He just couldn't do it.
I mean, I don't know why Gio Reyna didn't start.
Yeah, they have Reyna on the bench. They have what's his name?
They have Julian Brandt, or is he?
Brandt, yeah, Brandt is on the bench. I don't know why these players aren't playing.
They had options. I mean, I don't know. I've said it a lot today already, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund knocked City out because of the way they can score goals. If Dortmund can go and score 4 or 5 against anyone, when you have Haaland in your team, it's almost guaranteed goals. And obviously, Royce is there as well, quality on the ball. I think at the end of the show, I need to go back and watch that.
He definitely got
Money Mace. Do you know what? Yeah,
we'll get on to that.
I'm gonna take back everything I said about Mason Mount in the past. He is quality. Mason Mount is quality, and
we'll get on to the Chelsea game after. I'll just finish off on the Man City game. Phil Foden, he was ripping up that Dortmund right back, twisting him in and out, nutmegged him, gone to the box, got a cross in. He had a few shots that game. He should have scored maybe a few more goals, but in the end, he got the decisive goal for Man City to make it 2-1. And he started over Sterling. I think he's starting to show Pep that he's here to compete. And as Jeremiah is saying that Foden is a beast.
I agree with you, but at the same time, rotation. That's how every single match they're on it.
This is Champions League.
It's Champions League.
Sterling's not happy to be on the bench.
Squad depth. Sterling definitely will. He will put. I'll put money on it unless he gets injured or something. He starts next week. He starts against Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park. I mean, the depth that they have, the fact that they can put Sterling on the bench, cool. You know,
their bench is silly. Like the quality they have on their bench will walk into any starting 11.
Yeah, it's
almost any starting 11.
That's just Man City for you, and they're in a fortunate position to be able to do so. But Foden was the winner. He'd been knocking on the door all game. I think it was just only a matter of time. It wasn't a matter of if, it was just when he was going to get it in the back of the net. They deserved the win, but it wasn't as easy as I thought people thought it was going to be for Man City.
Yeah, Dortmund, as I said, Dortmund, anything can happen second leg. I don't want to write them off. I think Dortmund, with Sancho, they would have got a better result.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Dahoud in the middle, by the way, was incredible for Dortmund. Dahoud, their number 8, I believe.
Yeah, Ferran Torres. Anyone on their bench can walk into our starting 11. Anyone.
I think Ferran Torres starts on the right for us, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, on to Chelsea's game against Porto. 2-0, 2 English talents, young English talents. Mason Mount, Ben Chilwell. What are you saying about Mason Mount?
I take back everything I've said over the past year. I've labelled him as overrated. I don't think he's that good in this position. He's definitely not England's best. I still don't think he's England's best in that position, but he's a top talent. His potential is incredible. He's doing it for Chelsea and England now. I think people realize. I don't think people realize how old he is. People think he might be 19 or 20. I think he's 22.
Yeah, now, 21, 22.
So he's not in that young bracket anymore. He's stepping into a seasoned player type of territory, and he's showing it. He's getting goals and assists, and he has to start for England at the Euros.
Yeah,
he's carrying Chelsea at the moment.
The first touch, the defender was on the floor, slotted bottom left corner.
It was the perfect touch because it was one touch and then the shot. There was no lay the ball off for yourself again. It was a brilliant goal, and we're seeing it every game from, well, not the goal, but we're seeing that sort of movement and play, first touch, his control. He's got a bit of speed on him as well, which I didn't think he had. He's just improving every single match, and I would have him at United.
This is why he's perfect for Chelsea and even England. He gets into those pockets of space, and he's on a half turn all the time.
Yeah,
and looking forward, looking for a shot, looking for a pass, looking for the spaces in between defenders where he can then get a shot off. And also defensively, he works hard for the team. He gets back. He's always running. I think that's why managers like Frank Lampard, Gareth Southgate, adore him, because he puts in the shift.
Yeah, he's not a lightweight either. He has a bit of meat on the bone, which is always a bonus. You have something about you. Let them know let them know you're there. As you know, I think everybody in England will know that saying. He definitely likes to get stuck in, and he's just a really, really quality player. And aside from Chelsea, if England can keep up these, you got Foden, you got Greenwood, you got Saka, Mason Mount, if you can get all of those players in a system or some sort of fashion that gets them working properly together, but England are on for big things in the future.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's about how it all gels together, because the array of talent that England have at the moment is extraordinary. But getting them all into one team, gelled together, playing well, is the next step, which Gareth has to somehow do. And yeah, if he can do that, then there's no reason why England don't win the Euros.
Stretch.
No. There's actually no reason why we don't
stretch.
With the players we have, Harry Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Grealish, Foden, Mount, Rice.
We
All these
lose.
players.
We lose tournaments because of our defense. Centre backs and goalkeeper. That's the reason, I think. But we can't. We can leave England talk analysis for another show, which could possibly be coming up soon. I'm not sure yet. But what was I going to say? Ben Chilwell got a goal. Obviously, he got the second. Better than Luke Shaw?
Nope.
Good.
No, nowhere near.
Correct.
He's a great talent. Don't get me wrong. He can get to Luke Shaw's levels in a few seasons' time. But right now, he's still obviously learning the game. You know, he probably start some games in the Euros, but obviously we'll talk about that.
No, he will be England's first choice left back because he's been there more recently than Shaw has. Even though Luke Shaw deserves to start because he's been playing better, Ben Chilwell will be the starting left back. I'm almost certain of it. Unfortunately,
his goal was very well taken. He had the composure. He got in front of the keeper. He could have shot straight away. Decided to go around the keeper and then finish it off. And yeah, that's 2 away goals for Chelsea. It looks like they're put their place into the semi-finals. And yeah, Chelsea could get to the finals. You can't write them off.
It'll be Chelsea versus Real Madrid, or well, I would say Chelsea versus Real Madrid.
Yeah, Chelsea Real Madrid semi-final.
Chelsea Real Madrid are going through, progressing. Varane and Sergio Ramos will be back for that game. Unfortunately, but
if Chelsea get Real Madrid in the semi-finals, I think Chelsea will get to the final.
Remember, it's 2 legs. It's not one.
Yeah,
Real Madrid
2 legs.
2 legs. I can't
see
Chelsea.
2 legs. They'll beat Real Madrid.
Chelsea are already trying to create this fake rivalry with Real Madrid, but it's Real Madrid are in a different stratosphere to Chelsea, man. I can't see it happening. Real Madrid will reach the final. It's just whoever they play against, and I can see
Chelsea winning. I don't know why, but I can see it.
I'll be devastated if they do, but I can't see it happening, unfortunately for them.
But yeah, Europa League tonight. There was obviously the 4 quarterfinal games. The other English team, Arsenal. I mean, that was it was a dead game. They got what was it? They got into the lead. Nicolas Pepe chipped over the keeper to make it 1-0. It was a great finish after all their miserable finishing from Aubameyang and Lacazette. Pepe had to come and save the day.
Is Darren still here? Where's Darren?
But they couldn't hold on. Last, I think it was in 90 plus, I don't know. And Slavia scored to make it 1-1.
Yeah, they can't defend the set pieces. It was a back post header. I think it might have been knocked on to the back post, but Slavia Prague, I said it multiple times in the Bits and Bobs channel. I wouldn't be surprised if Slavia Prague knocked Arsenal out. They've gone and got an away goal. And with Arsenal's poor finishing, I can see next week they'll be able to create the same amount of chances and whatnot, but they just have to improve their finishing. That Lacazette chance, clean through. He had way too much time to think about what he's going to do with it. It was just such a bad attempt. Yeah, but we won 2-0. There's a difference.
That's the difference. You can't compare us. You can't compare Arsenal and Man U.
Yeah, we won 2-0.
You have your striker trying to put it top bins when you can easily finish it bottom right corner. You have another striker who comes on and I don't know what he's doing, just running around.
He has a weak ankle.
Yeah, and then you concede in the last minute.
That can't happen to us. Whatever anyone thinks about United tonight, we won 2-0. We've booked our place in the semi-final unless something ridiculous happens at Old Trafford. Haters gonna have to cry more because Bruno Fernandes got another penalty and he scored it. He won it and scored it, in fact.
Yeah. But yeah, staying on the Arsenal game, the thing is with Arsenal, I say it every single stream, your team isn't bad.
Yeah.
Your team is not bad, but you just don't. I don't get. You just don't get the results that you need.
You don't have the
Arsenal have the better side of the tree. I say, or the easier side, and they're just making it tougher for themselves. I think I do back you to get the win next week away from home. I mean, all you need is 2 away goals at least, or 1. But yeah, you just make things harder for yourselves.
I mean, I'm going to talk about Saka for a sec. He was, I think, quite good today, and he is very, very, very quickly outgrowing Arsenal in terms of his talent. Not the club, because no one's bigger than a club, but I think he might just be a bit too good, and his potential is a bit too high to warrant staying at Arsenal. You got Emil Smith Rowe as well, who I think had a decent game. They just weren't represented well by the senior players in the team, players like Lacazette and Aubameyang. I don't even know if Aubameyang started, but I don't think he did because Bellerin wore the armband. But they're not represented well by the senior players, and if you don't get your act together quickly and at least genuinely challenge for some silverware, players like Saka, Smith Rowe, they're gonna leave and go to somewhere else where they can, at least taste what a trophy win feels like. Arsenal failed to win because they don't know how to close games. They don't know how to see games out. It was a corner in the last minute, I think.
Yeah, as you were saying about Saka, definitely he's going to stay at Arsenal. Obviously, maybe the best thing for him to do is to see out his contract. Obviously, he's playing there week in, week out. Continue doing that, getting the experience, and then move to bigger and better things. Because Arsenal, it's like a bit like Harry Kane. Just you're not going to do you're not going to get anything from the club at the moment. But yeah, I think we should move on to the United game because I had enough of talking about these Arsenal teams. But
United,
2-0 win away from home. I think this is one of the best games I've seen in a while.
Great display.
One of the best performances from the team away from home, 2-way goals. But no, that was the worst. That was the worst game I've seen.
It was very, very boring.
It was so boring, but we get the result, and that's
it's what the better sides do. Obviously, we're in the Europa League, blah blah blah, banter. But it's what the good sides are able to do. Doesn't matter how well you play or how bad you play. If you're still able to, post a win and 2 away goals as well, I think we couldn't really expect anything else from today's match. I do believe that maybe the players didn't know what to expect from Granada. But again, I don't think that's an excuse because they're professional footballers. You've got a professional manager. You're Manchester United. I just don't know because we just weren't convincing at all. We were able to work our way up the pitch, but as soon as it got into the final third, it was finished. There was no conviction at all in our play.
This is why I struggle with watching Man U. It's just we win games, but it's as if in training all we're doing is rondos.
Yeah,
there's nothing else. We don't do any tactical patterns of play. Just a simple forward, back, through. There's nothing. I don't see any of those things in our games. Like for example, when you watch City, the style of play, the patterns of play. They know what they're doing. With us, it's side to side. Maguire picks it up, driving with the ball, or plays it on the left wing to Shaw or Rashford, and then Rashford just run at the players, or try and find Bruno, see what Bruno will do, or he might switch the play to Wan-Bissaka. There's no patterns of play.
Yeah, it's quite worrying. It's genuinely quite worrying because we're second in the league. You've just said something which I totally agree with, but none of this makes sense to me because we're so dead when we play. Like we have very little enthusiasm, probably for about 10 or 15 minutes, in total for the whole game, but we still managed to get results. Like it just makes me think, imagine we had tactics. Well, imagine we had better tactics. Imagine we had players that were good for 90 minutes. Where would we be? Because there's so much potential in this side. You've got players like Rashford gets in attacking positions, and I feel like maybe he doesn't see anybody else. He just sees, he has tunnel vision for the goal. And yes, that's good. Some strikers are better when they're selfish, but when you're playing on the wing and you have Bruno Fernandes in the box, Pogba making his way, Dan James, Mason Greenwood, Cavani, and you just run into defenders, it's like, why? The level of intelligence there is just not as high as it should be, and it's quite frustrating. And there's always room for improvement, but oh gosh, today's game was just a perfect example of how bad we actually are, and we're lucky it was against Granada. We're so lucky it wasn't against a Roma, because I believe they won today. They would have walked us off the park if we played them today with that type of performance. Even Arsenal would have done us. They would have done us bad. We get away with these things, and when Woodward and the Glazers will see 2-0, all they're going to see is 2-0. They're not going to see we played terrible today. And I think it's kind of depressing.
This is what I don't get. We've been so many performances just like this season, and I don't see any improvement in the style of play or anything like that. There's no improvement. But it's the fact that we're getting the result, as if Ollie's thinking and the coaching staff are thinking, okay, we got the result. I mean, why should we change the way we're training? Why should we change our tactics? Because we got the 2-0. They just think to themselves, there's nothing to change. And or maybe they're afraid to change something that maybe if we change it, next game we might lose. Or maybe things like that. I just don't understand. But obviously, next game we're going to be missing Maguire, Shaw. Who else is it? McTominay. Potentially, obviously, Bailly might still have COVID. And yeah, good thing is we got the 2-0. I mean, if we play Tellez, Twanzebe potentially.
It's going to have to be Twanzebe and Lindelof at the back, unless Phil Jones makes an appearance.
Phil Jones, no, I don't want to see that guy's face.
Well, I think we're going to get through. We'll be fine. We've got a semi-final place booked and secured. But we just have to appreciate the fact that we're still able to win the games without any good goals. I mean, Marcus Rashford's goal didn't come from good play. Great ball from Lindelof. We played in moments. You've said this many times. We play in moments. That was a good moment. Good ball from Lindelof. Great touch and good finish. And then obviously we get a penalty, which maybe might have been just out of nowhere against a run of play. We're lucking our way through this Europa League campaign, man. It's just this whole season in general.
Yeah, I mean, we're second somehow. Obviously, we're in the Europa League quarterfinals. But yeah, it's just been luck. Moments FC. I don't know. If Soldalo's I'll just laugh. That's not going to happen.
Oleyenka's going to score a double next week. You're going to get knocked out.
Well, yeah. I want to ask, who do you think is going through in terms of Champions League?
Real Madrid. Chelsea. I don't know about the other side, because I want obviously Dortmund to go through, and I genuinely think they can. Like, it's very possible. And the same with Bayern Munich and PSG. I can't call that, and I'm going to say Man City because they have the advantage, but I wouldn't go against putting money on Borussia Dortmund to, go through at the same time, because they could win 1-0 and go through.
Yeah. You also let us know in the comments what you guys think as well. Who do you think is going through in the Champions League and Europa League? Champions League, I'm going to say, obviously, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Man City. I feel like Dortmund will pull up a good fight second leg, but I think it's going to be too big for them to actually deal with.
I can understand that.
Stuart says Real Madrid, Chelsea, PSG, and Dortmund.
You see, if that was the case, perfect. City go and win the league with 1 million points. I don't care, as long as they don't win a treble. Everything that I'm fighting for this season is to stop Manchester City winning the treble.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't see Man City winning the Champions League. Based on their performance against Dortmund, I can see a Bayern Munich or PSG beating Man City. Darren says Real Madrid, Chelsea, City, and Bayern might clutch it. Yeah, I agree. I think Bayern will overcome PSG. As for the Euro, Alex says City, PSG, Chelsea, Madrid.
I wanted the Classica semi-final, Dortmund and Bayern Munich. That's what I'm looking for.
That'll be good.
Sancho might be, but I need to find out what his injury actually is,
I
because
mean, it could have been a Manchester derby in the semis, but I mean, we had to crumble and get knocked out by Leipzig. So,
man,
yeah. But yeah, as for
unfortunate.
Europa League, I think it'll be obviously Roma, Man U. Who's the other side? Roma, Man U. Let me check.
Villarreal.
Oh yeah, Villarreal. They beat Zagreb. So it'll be Roma, Man U, Villarreal, and Slavia Prague going through.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
it could happen. They have an away goal. They have the advantage.
you can't write off Slavia. I mean, a few months ago I didn't know who they were, but now I know who they are, and you can't write them off.
Don't even know what they're on feet. What country are they from?
I don't know.
But
I mean, they beat Leicester, so anything can happen. Alex agrees. Slavia, Villarreal, Man U, Roma.
Yeah, it's going to be a Manchester United Roma final, I believe, because if we go through Villarreal.
No, if we win the semi-finals would be against Roma.
No, our semi-final would be against Villarreal. Oh no, yeah, Villarreal's on Arsenal side. Arsenal side, yeah.
So it would be a Slavia Man U final.
Now that I think about it, Arsenal won't get into the final. They can't beat Slavia Prague, and they're going to play against Villarreal. And that's Unai Emery's Villarreal. Arsenal aren't winning that. They're not winning that.
They don't want that. But yeah, it was. I think this Champions League week has been the best Champions League I've seen in a while. It's a shame there's no fans. Hopefully, obviously next season there'll be fans. But yeah, this weekend, man, you've got Tottenham. Let me check what other games there are this weekend. Man City playing Leeds, Liverpool, Villa, Palace, Chelsea. And then on Sunday, obviously, Man U playing Tottenham, West Ham, Leicester, Burnley, Newcastle, Sheffield, Arsenal in the relegation battle. And on Monday, West Brom, Southampton, and Brighton, Everton.
One day we'll say that with a serious face.
Yeah. Alex says if we get to the final, we'll win it easy.
Nah,
yeah, I can't even agree with that. Even though we support Man U, I can't say I agree. Because we got to the semi-finals last year, we thought it'd be easy getting to the final, and we didn't. I mean, Inter Milan got to the final, but they lost. So you can't underestimate the Europa League.
No, I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Chelsea won't. They're not going to win it. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
Well, yeah. Thank you, everyone in the comments. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, we'll be back on maybe Sunday with a Premier League roundup. Hopefully, we smack Spurs 6-1 in revenge.
Jesus.
I don't want to think about that last game, especially how that last game was on my birthday as well. That was just imagine losing 6-1 on your birthday.
You know, birthday depression, and then you lose 6-1.
That was like the worst day. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.